Okay, I think I'm gonna stream for 2 more hours today. I'm not sure if I'm gonna stream tomorrow, but uh, after that, I'm not gonna stream for this week, I think, because I have some stuff to do. So I tried to do one of these challenges off stream, and I was very close to getting it right. I think I had the right idea, and I did everything pretty much the same thing. I had to look at the solution, but I did everything pretty much the same way that the person that found the solution did it. I just messed up the order, or there was something that I was doing that was slightly different. But yeah, that's unfortunate. But then the next challenge right after that one was this one, and I already read the not the solution, the problem, and it seems like it is easier than the previous one. But usually these ones are the ones that are the most difficult because they are deceivingly easy, and because this is 4Q, I imagine it's pretty hard. Yeah, but pretty much from what I understand, what I have to do here is write a function. They're gonna pass a list of lists with intervals, and then I need to get the sum of the intervals. So, and then I have to discount overlapping distances. So, for example, this here would be 3 because it's 4 minus 1. But then, since it overlaps with this one, it becomes 1 to 5, which is 4. Plus 3 is 7. So I think that's the most difficult part, is figuring out how to handle the overlaps. That's the problem here. And the first idea that came to my mind, it was to create a set, sum all of them, create a set to remove the duplicates, but obviously that's not what I want. No, not obviously because I tried, but yeah. It was just the first idea that I had. So how can I do this? I need to figure out a way to keep track of the distances, the boundaries of each array. That's the thing. And then if there are arrays that overlap, then I need to concatenate them. So maybe if I just get the length. Oh no, the length is gonna be just yeah, they're always gonna have true elements. So I can just do distance equals array 0 plus array 1. Oh, minus actually. And let's do it like this. And I think if I do it absolute, maybe the second one is always going to be greater, but I think I can also do this because it doesn't really matter, I think. But the issue is that I don't want to get the distance. I need to get the boundaries. That's the thing. And I can't create variables outside because then if there are multiple different arrays that overlap at different distances, I would have n amount of variables necessary to keep track of all the differences in boundaries. So I don't think that's a good way to approach this. So let me think. Maybe doing dictionary, and then I can do the distance through the dictionary, the boundaries. Yeah, I think. Just dict like this. Then I can do this array 1 is equal to array 0. Or the other way around, actually. Yeah, I think that's a good way, actually. Because then I'm gonna have... Yeah, but then how I'm gonna know the boundaries? The overlapping boundaries. So each key is gonna be the initial distance of each one. And the value is gonna be the final distance. I actually don't understand why putting them all together and creating a set doesn't work. Oh, also this doesn't work, I think, because if there are two of them that have... Well, but then they're overlapping. But I think if there are two of them that are exactly the same, I have to count twice. Even though they overlap all the numbers. It's just when they are not exactly the same, then I concatenate. Yeah, I think I have to use a dictionary to keep track of all of them. Or the only way, yeah, because I'm gonna have to use a loop anyway. I'm trying to avoid doing a nested for loop. But if I put them on a dictionary and I make a condition that says that if one value is... If a key is greater than a value, then put them together. I'm gonna have to loop through the dictionary. Yeah, I assume that if I had choose 6 here inside of this list, then it would go from 1 to 6. So I don't understand why doing the set doesn't work. Oh, maybe it does work actually. It's just the sum that I shouldn't do. Yeah, because I'm not trying to sum the numbers. I'm trying to uh, take the take the distance. So that's the issue. The boundaries are the issue. Or can't I just take every odd one and subtract because they're always gonna be on pairs. So maybe the set does work. Let me think. What if I how should I order a set? Oh, actually, I'm not printing the correct thing. So here. Hmm. Interesting. So I think what I can do is I can zip this. I don't remember really well how it works. If I do this, maybe there's a better way. I'm thinking about just getting the second, every second one, and subtracting for the first one. So breaking this down into sets of after I clean them up, then getting them together in pairs of twos. Maybe there's a better way to do that. Or maybe I can do the other thing that I was thinking about as well, where I get the boundaries each time. Yeah, but then the issue is what if I have more than two boundaries? Because if I keep track of the boundaries outside, I'm gonna bridge the gap there. And that's not what I want. Oh, or maybe not. Let me think. Problem is that there are two different approaches that I'm thinking about simultaneously. So one approach is get the boundaries and compare the boundaries each time to see if there's any numbers, any boundaries that overlap. And then if there are, I can make the boundary of one array, I can make the arrays the same, pretty much. So in this case, the lower boundary would become, in this case, the lower boundary would become, these would be the boundaries, then 3 would become 1, and then 4 would become 5 on this array. So I would have 2 essentially. But then it doesn't work. Because I would update the boundaries of both of them if they overlap. And then later I would clean duplicates out of the thing. Out of the final array. But I think this one makes more sense. So I have to think about how to create sets of tuples. I can do a list comprehension, I think, and just return this list. I think I'm gonna do that. So xy for xy in this. I'm not sure if this works. Oh, I have to print. So maybe I should look it up. How to transform a list into sets of variables Python. It's because I want to convert them. Oh, actually, if I'm gonna loop anyway, it's better not to use zip. I can just do the calculation that I want here. So y minus x. And let me think about. I can do in range, then from 0 to the length of this by 2. Maybe it looks too complicated. It's better to put this on a variable outside of here. Sorted R. Then replace this. But that's the problem. I think I'm gonna have to do it in a normal loop. I can do it on a list comprehension. Because I need to put the if statements. I can do it, but it's just too confusing. It's easier to just do it with a normal loop. So I want them to go into pairs of twos. So maybe if we're in a 0. Oh, actually, I should put. Yeah, index out of range. Because that's the thing. I think using enumerate is probably easier. But I'm gonna have to do the condition anyway. So yeah, at least didn't fail. And then what I need to do is sum s. Oh, and this has to be absolute, I think. Oh, actually, it probably doesn't work because I'm getting an empty list when it should be 4 there. Yeah, so forget about this. Yeah, but I think I'm getting the intervals correctly. Oh, but here it should be 1 to 4 or 1 to 5. So I don't understand why I'm not getting there. Oh, because they're all unique. Yeah. I can't really do it like this. Because then, in this case, even if I do if I check for the intervals later, it's gonna give me 9, and I'm supposed to get 1 to 5 and 7 to 10. So this approach doesn't work. So I think I'm gonna have to try to do the other one that I was thinking about, which is keeping track of the boundaries of the distance, or the boundaries each iteration. And then if there are overlapping boundaries to update. Yeah, but the issue with that, I think I have to use the dictionary. There's no other way. Because there can be multiple different boundaries. That's the problem. So if I have 1 to 4 and then 3 to 5 and then later on I have 7 to 10 and 8 to 11, for example, the only boundaries, overlapping boundaries I'm going to be able to capture if I keep track of 2 different variables are 1 to 5, and then I'm going to miss the other overlapping boundary. And I think with the dictionary I can create as many keys as it exists there. Yeah, maybe the other approach that I was doing with the keys is the correct way. So dict array. I think I can do this. Yeah, so maybe I should do this and then print this. Oh, actually, yeah. So now the question is, how do I check for the overlapping things on the dictionary? What is the condition here? So if there's a key that is between a value and a key, then I should update that key to the lowest value, I think. So in this case, 3 between 1 and 4. So 3 will become 1. And if the value is bigger than, so let me think. I think I have to loop through the dictionary. So dictionary keys. Yeah, but that's the thing. It's confusing because the distance is between the key and the value and not the keys. Biggest problem is the two different boundaries thing. Because that prevents me from being able to create the variables outside of the loop to keep track of the boundary. So I need to figure out a way to do it without using any other variables. So let's say if there is a key that is in between, yeah, but then that's how I'm gonna compare this key with the other keys in the dictionary. Let me just loop. Let me see if I just loop through the dictionary. What do I get? Probably should look up dictionary methods as well. And so if I loop, I get the keys. Can I use sorted on dictionary? Hmm. Trying to think about a good way to compare all the values of the dictionary between the boundaries of the dictionary to update without doing another loop. But I think it's really hard to think because with another loop, I think I can do it. I just subtract the keys from the values and I see, or make the boundary equal to the value and the key, and then I make a condition to check on all the other values if any of them overlap. But to do with only one for loop is really hard. is what I want is obviously dict item minus item. It's probably pass some of them, but obviously it's not gonna pass all of them. And the biggest issue is the overlapping. So let me think. Yeah, the issue is that I have to check one time for the keys if they fit between the boundary of key value pairs and one time for the values because I have to update both. Let me think about a way to phrase this so I can look up dictionary methods in Python. And the other thing is, what if there are conflicts of keys? I don't think it will be with the way that I did here. It's just gonna update. Yeah, maybe that's an issue as well on the other ones. Because what if I have one list with 1.5 and another list with 1.6? Which one is gonna be in the object? I think, well, actually, it's already testing for this. Well, 5 on 5. Yeah, but oh, I guess it works actually. But let me see if I change the order if it's gonna be the same. It probably will. It doesn't work. That's the thing. Because it updates later. That's the problem. So I need to make sure the value is always the greatest it can be for the key. If there is the same key. Maybe we can put the condition after this thing here. Oh, but after doesn't work. Yeah, how can I check this? Oh, I can do if dict array 0. So if it exists on the array already, I do something. And if it doesn't, then I run the other code. Smaller than array 0, array 1, equals array 0. Yeah, maybe this takes care of the problem. Hmm. Should I don't understand what's the problem with that. Should work. So I can do this here. Oh, and here should be picked. Let me think. So if the key exists already, I want to check the value for the key. So this one. Okay, so this is running, so but it isn't working. Version does not support item assignment. Hmm. Oh yeah, because I'm trying to change the value of the tuple. So I can just do an else statement here. Do this. Oh, actually, oh, let me think. So if the value is smaller, I don't want to change it. So I don't think I need to do anything. Just continue, maybe. Let's see if this works. Okay, nice. So now only the overlapping stuff. Probably not gonna be able to find anything. So I think I'm gonna have to do the 2 loops route or 3 loops. So the first one would be to update the keys. But how do I check for all of them? That's the thing. So what I want to do is this. See? Yeah, that's the problem. So I want one of them to change, which is gonna be the one that I'm testing for, and the other is gonna be all of the keys. So I think I have to do a nested for loop. I'm gonna try to do it the easiest way, then I think about refactoring if it works. Because this, I'm also not sure if this is gonna work. Then item becomes key. And then I'll have to do the same thing for the value. Trying to think if I can check for both of them at the same time. Yeah, I think I can choose do. Then I put equal here. Oh, actually, it's the wrong one here. So if one of them is bigger than the other, it becomes the other. Else the other becomes the thing. And if they're equal, it doesn't matter, so easier to put equal, bigger or equal. And then after I do that, then item equals key. The other issue is that I might have to do the transformation of creating a temporary variable, then assigning the value to the temporary variable, and then reassigning because of the reference thing in memory. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is not gonna work, actually. It doesn't feel like it's gonna work. Hmm. So it changed one of them at least. But it didn't change the other one. It didn't change the key. But why not though? That's the thing. A series should be 3 and then 1 and 5. So it goes through this. Then 3 becomes 1. So it might be because of the variable thing. I always forget how to do this. Or maybe I can't change the key. I guess what I can do is just update the value of one of them and then erase the other one. Maybe so how to remove a key from Python dictionary. At least removes the value, I think. Or maybe not. So I think I'm gonna try this one. Dot pop. Pop. So the one that is. Yeah, but how do I know which one is the lowest? Well, the lowest is the key. So I have to pop item in both scenarios, I think. Then I can erase this. Hmm. That's the issue. Maybe I can filter the keys and remove that way. Yeah, this might be a better idea. So let me think. Addict dot keys. So really when I return, and maybe filter is not the best. Because then I'm gonna have to do the same thing that I did here twice. That's the problem. There must be a better way. I think even before this nested loop here, there's probably a better way to do this. You just need to think about the way to keep track of the boundaries and then update them. Maybe I can create another dictionary and update that way. Be writing stuff. Oh, just- And the issue is that I have to compare both of them at the same time. And then even if I compare, the problem is how do I remove this? Maybe I think I'm gonna erase this or item index print item. Maybe that is a an even better approach than doing the dictionary first. Because the only reason for doing the dictionary is if it is easier to compare the boundaries. Otherwise, it doesn't change anything, I think. Maybe I can use the array, the intervals here. And that's an interesting idea. It's not really an array, it's a tuple. I think this is the way, actually. If I do the boundary here and compare with the keys in the dictionary, I can change. Because if a key is in the middle of the tuple, the values of the tuple, the distance, I can update the key. So but how? I still need to do another loop. That's the thing. Because how I'm gonna find the keys? But maybe let's try to do the loops. But then it's the same thing. Oh, the difference is that I can. Well, actually, I can't. Yeah, but maybe I don't need to change the dictionary. I can just append into another list the values. So if the key is in the middle, then item equals array 0. Or maybe I should just do like this. But then how do I get the key? I think if I do like this, it probably works. I can just loop through the keys and then get the value through the key. So what I was thinking about. So if the key is between the values is gonna become the lower boundary. And then I wanted to check for, yeah, if dict key is bigger than array 1, or smaller actually. Array equal. But this is pretty much the same thing I was doing there. That's the problem. Because I can't really reassign like this. It doesn't work. So I think instead of doing this, I can just create another list. I think that's probably the easiest way. Because then I don't have to reassign the values. I can just get the new boundaries. And I can also do the calculation here already. Maybe. It's just really confusing. And so what I can do is append. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do another list. Let me think. This doesn't make sense as well. So if the key is between the values, it's gonna become the lowest value. So r.append. This is a terrible way to go about it, but I'm just trying to make it work. I'm probably not gonna refactor if I make it work as well, because just wanna look at the other people's solutions. So let me think. So I'm appending. Oh, actually, I need to check as well first. I need to check if the value is also greater than array 1. So if the key is in between is gonna be the key is between and the value is greater. uh, Then I append this one, which is the one that contains the bigger boundary. If the value is not greater, then I use the same key, but with the lower one. And if neither, then I just append the object, which is the key, and dict key. Hopefully this works. And the issue is that I'm gonna have a bunch of them that are duplicated. And it's still not working. Because I should only have the biggest boundaries here. But it's probably because I'm appending here. So let me remove this and see what happens. Hmm. Interesting. So now maybe I can use this value to the values here to update the object. At this point, I'm just trying to make it work. I'm not gonna worry about if it's good or not. I'm just gonna try to make it work first. Then maybe I can think about it later. I don't think it makes sense doing what I was talking about of using this to filter the other one. And the other way also doesn't work because I'm just appending all of them anyway, even after passing the condition. After not passing these conditions here. So what if I did the calculation here? But then I'm gonna run into the same problem. The other thing I can do is run the calculation before and then do this condition here to change the calculation by subtracting the overlapping things. So in this case, let's think. Yeah, this might be a better approach actually. Much better approach. So here would be 4 minus 1, 3, and then 2. And it's supposed to be 4. So I would be getting 5, but I'm supposed to get 4. So how can I make that work? I think that this way is gonna solve, but I'm just trying to think about it, how to make it work, because I think the math makes sense. It's just a matter of figuring out the best, not the best way, but the way to subtract or add, depending on how it works. It's kind of hard to think about the distances. And maybe if I comment this stuff out here, I want to get the results without doing this other stuff here first. Then I think about it. Whatever, just gonna, okay. So let me think. So if I was just gonna get the result, I would loop through the object, result was 0, okay, in vector case was equals, and then I have to figure out how many additional ones I'm placing on the result based on the overlaps. I'm gonna think about the way to make the math work, because I think that's a much better approach. So let's think. And the overlap is making me add one more or one less. So I need to subtract probably every time it overlaps. I need to subtract the amount that it overlapped. So maybe I can create another variable in here called overlap or something like that. And then I make key. Yeah, then how do I calculate the distance there? The distance is gonna be from the key to the... Yeah, the comparison between the two. I have the two actually that I'm comparing. So let's think. So I have array 1 minus array 0 is one distance. And then dict key minus key is another one. And I'm adding this twice. So what do I want? I want to remove the part from this to this. I think I'm very close. I just need to think about a way to get the right amount for this overlap variable, and then I can just subtract the result from the overlap, and it's probably gonna work. So to what extent it overlaps? What is it that I'm adding twice? I think array minus array 1 minus key is what I'm adding twice. And also key minus array 0. Yeah, so subtract both. Yeah, but this makes sense. I don't think it does. Because in this situation it would be 3 or 2, and the distance here is only 1. And that's the problem. Because in the result I'm gonna have this plus this. So maybe if I write it down like this, results, I'm gonna have this plus this. The problem is I'm trying to do it in my head. That's probably why it's difficult. And I want the distance I want is the bigger one, which is this minus k. So the extra stuff is dict key minus array 0. But the thing is that gonna be in all situations or just the one that I have? That's the problem that I'm thinking about right now. The result's gonna contain both distances. And I don't want the distances that are in the middle. Is that correct? I don't think it is correct. Because this calculation doesn't equal 1 and it should equal 1. I think the extra stuff that I'm adding is from 4 to 3. So it's from one value. It might be correct actually. It's from one value to another key. So this is what I want to add in the result. And this is what I have. So cut this through. Oh, there, array 0 is the key, I think. Or is array 1? I think it's array 1, probably. It's just very confusing. So that's if the key is in the middle of the boundaries here. So array 0 is the key. So it might be array 0 here actually. The key is the value. Then else. So this is if array 1 is bigger than the dict key. So what if it's not? And then I don't think I need to do anything. And maybe it's the same calculation. I think this one might give me a problem. I'm not even sure if this is gonna work as well, to be honest. So let me print results. The difference has to be 1. The last one. Yeah, it isn't. So what if I comment this one out and see? And then is 0. So what if it is 1? Oh, maybe it worked. And the problem is gonna pass this, but then the other ones. Yeah. Hmm. So the issue is that they are passing negative values as well. It's something I didn't think about. Yeah, that makes things a lot harder actually. Because I'm not sure if I can just transform all of them into positive values. But the thing is, I wonder if that's the only thing that I'm missing here, or if there are more stuff that I didn't think about. It looks like all of them have negative values, the ones that I'm failing. So maybe a quick thing that I can try is just transform all of them into positive values. I think I can do this here, or I can do this just. Yeah, maybe if I do this, split here. But I don't think it's gonna work. I think it's worth trying though. And it's still failing some. So how do I handle negative numbers? And then the issue is that it's gonna change everything pretty much. I think I'm gonna solve this another time. Let me see how much time I have left until 2 hours, 15 minutes. And the biggest problem here is that I think I'm gonna have to redo everything to take into account negative numbers because of the way that I did the calculation. Because I didn't think they would give me negative numbers. They should talk about this on the description, in my opinion, because the way that it is described here, it seems like it's only gonna test for positive ones. And it's a completely different problem because if I have to take into account negative digits, because just maybe if I just add the distance, yeah, but it's still because then I have to think about all the overlaps as well again. Because what I could do is accumulate the distances first and then transform all the negative ones into zeros. And then that it would be the same thing that I did here after. But that wouldn't take care of the overlapping between negative numbers. But maybe if I change only here, I can do it. Yeah, I have to change here then as well. Oh, actually, no, because if it's minus, it's gonna be plus. So it doesn't matter. So I think maybe if I only change this one, it works. Let me try without the overlap. See how many passes. 9. I think it's less. Yeah, this passes one more. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take a break and solve this another time. Actually, probably gonna start from scratch again and think about another solution. And I might solve this off stream actually after I rest. And because if I just keep thinking, I don't think I'm gonna get anywhere. I think it's better to just take some time off and then maybe look at some dictionary methods and give some space to think about different ways to do it from the beginning that are different than this. Because it might be overcomplicating as well, the way that I did in the beginning. There might be easier ways to do it from the beginning, which makes dealing with the negative numbers way easier. So yeah, I'll see you then.